Well, hello everyone. Yeah, I'm back, and I thought it was time for another personal share along my Kundalini journey. I think it's been about a year. Like, has it been that long? Yeah, so I have to do this. I hate to do it, but for anyone new who's watching who is not familiar with my personal shares and my Kundalini journey, um, yeah, I've been documenting or doing like a personal diary for myself for several years regarding my Kundalini journey. And my Kundalini process is at the point of Parabindu. That's advanced process. I would say it's no longer in process, it's complete. It's post Makara, post Bindu. The individual self is now merged with the cosmic self, blah, blah, blah. I hate saying all that. It's like, doesn't mean anything to me anymore. And it sounds so completely arrogant. Like, I don't even care. But for the purpose of if anyone stumbles upon this video and they're also in Kundalini process, this may be helpful. What happens? What happens? What can happen in your life post Bindu, para Bindu, like what happens? Um, yeah, so I don't even know where I left off, but I do know I left off telling you all about, me getting a job. So I was at a point where I, I it I think I took about a year and a half, this Parabindu kind of sitting in silence, not knowing what to do, but just really kind of integrating that. And then suddenly, I think I got I don't know if I got bored. I cannot remember. It's like I can't remember like 5 minutes ago. So my history, I don't hold on to my history. So that's why these, I guess, videos are important as a reminder, I suppose, for myself. But anyway, I decided to take a job at a coffee house. And I was like, I challenge any spiritual teacher to get out there and go to work with the real world amongst people who don't give a shit about your spiritual journey or your spiritual clout and what you've achieved, and just really see how you interact. And I have to say, I failed miserably. I've been working there for a year and a half now, and it is one of the most toxic environments I've ever worked in, just regarding management. And it has really, really, really taken a toll on my mental health, emotional health, all of my health, physical health. I am suffering from absolute exhaustion. The good news is I think my hours have. I've quit several times, but then I keep walking it back and go, oh, maybe I could just do 2 days. I think I'm on a 2 day schedule now. Who knows? There's always so much drama. Anyway, excuse me. I was really, I took this job, number one, because it got me out of the house and got me amongst, normal everyday life. And I thought that's really important when it helps to see how grounded you are in your true self and how present you are and how much stuff you have remaining in your field that needs to be worked on, particularly your corest of core wounds, which is what I am deeply and have been deeply working on for the past year. I won't go into that right now, but that is what has been showing up, the corest of core wounds you could ever have. Yeah, so difficult. But anyway, during this job and all the drama, my mentor teacher who said, prana, not drama, uh, I just, what I experienced is the highest of the highs in spiritual. When I've had time to sit and meditate, maybe just once a week or less, that I find that, it's like, oh my God, it's so blissful and so you feel the power of the universe. I could feel it vibrating inside of my body, particularly after some activations, which I'll share with you. Um, it's like the highest of the highs. And I know that when I'm in that space, it's like, this is Shakti coming right out of me. And I think, what am I doing? What am I doing in this coffee house? Because at the other end of the spectrum, which has been 85 to 90% of my time the last year and a half, it has been like the lowest of lows of human nature, drama, emotional stuff. It has just been so chaotic. And the polarities of these two experiences have really worn me out spiritually, just as a human being, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so while I still challenge any spiritual teacher to, get out there and see how you interact, because interacting within, not with the customers are brilliant, everything's fine, but within a working with a narcissistic, micromanaging, wow, person working for it. I'm really glad for this experience. I mean, I'm not, but I am, spiritually, because this person has been the trigger of my own core wound. And I was able to see quite clearly, like all of this happening has been done with awareness. Not to say that I didn't engage and do engage in some emotionality or some bad behaviors like gossip and talk, but there's awareness there watching this happen. Not a whole lot of judgment at all, just a total detachment. But I can see these wounds, and boy, that boss has really made visible my deepest wounds and deepest feelings that are still lingering, and yeah, probably hindering more of my spiritual evolution. Anyway, so yeah, so it's highs and the lows. And I think I would say, as my mentor said, prana, not drama, that if you are so lucky, and I feel so lucky, I hate to say the word blessed, lucky, to reach a point in your Kundalini spiritual journey where Shakti has been working with you, and you've reached a certain, pinnacle, you know, um, that it is actually detrimental to exhausting yourself, um, and damaging your subtle body like that, being so stimulated, it's overwhelming. So yeah, I challenge spiritual teachers, but then I say, yeah, I get it. You really need to be around like-minded people, a more subtle, gentler environment, because you just don't realize, I mean, I do now, how your subtle body and your body eventually wants to change, but your subtle body's changing with all these chemical, biochemical, whatever changes. And if you put yourself right back into stimulus, and and people that are, it's a lot, and it really will affect you in a bad way. And in Joan, oh my God, I forgot her last name, Joan Harrington, book, The Spiritual Transformations in Kundalini Vidya. I mean, she says this emphatically, that once you reach a certain point, you have to live a very peaceful sattvic life. And I agree. I agree. It's going to take me a long time to bounce back. Anyway, so today in this video, besides that whole 10-minute, 15-minute rant about whatever, I'm just going to share a couple of semi-phenomenal things that happen during meditations that I view as upgrades or changes or just a process. And I do want to say that, you know, um, however these, whatever you want to call it, expansions or upgrades in your subtle body, I recognize that whatever's happening in your field, I can see that my mind is creating a story or an image or a picture that will resonate with me so that I can interpret it. Right? Do you know what I mean? So it's like a cobra didn't actually land in my body, but that's how my mind had to interpret it so I would get the message or understanding, right? Anyway, so one of the, oops, my shoes were squeaking. Um, oh, look at, you can see all the little kitty bowls over there. Yes, I have quite a few cats. Not crazy lady amount, but enough. I give them a variety of flavors. Yeah, so in one of my meditations that sparked change, and it was really a sign of transformation, is yeah, all of a sudden, I don't know if I shared this before, this huge cobra just came down into my body. I mean, I wasn't thinking about Shakti or anything like that, but it was just suddenly an image and I could just feel this energy. And it was this big and it felt female cobra that landed in my body. God, it's been so long and I didn't take any notes, but what it felt like to me, and when I looked it up, was that a cobra represents, of course, Kundalini, but there was a deeper embodiment and merging of Shakti. And yeah, and I'll get to that in a second. But also transformation. And I could feel it. There was like a great force or power, not power is the wrong word, but something entered into my body. And and of course, after that, you know, after every expansion, there's going to be a contraction. And I absolutely had some stuff come up. I can't remember what it was, but it was like some of your emotional stuff comes up. But after that kind of cleared, I noticed my meditations and what I was talking about before, like I could get so deep so fast. I mean, I could before, but some like Shakti force was just like coming out of me or in me, or it was me. I don't know how to explain it. And I was just thinking to myself, what? Should I be doing something with this? You know, like, of course, the ego. It was just so powerful. So I don't know what that means. I guess there was just, even in my exhaustion, just spending the little times in meditation that I could, there's still upgrades and expansions happening, which I'm so grateful for. But can you imagine if I did it every day? Like, ooh. Anyway, yeah, so that happened, that a transformation was coming, and I could totally feel it. Like there's still like this immense, it's like the power of the universe. You feel it, you are it. It's incredible. And it's like it's just, you just rest in this magnificence, and it's like sitting there and you can feel it's pure potential. That's exactly what it is. And you can feel it just waiting for a creative thought, somebody to have a, it wants to create something. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I don't know what to create. I have no dreams. I don't know what I want. What can I do with this? I mean, it's so powerful. It's just so crazy. Anyway, so that happened. And then, like, I don't know how many months later, I'm in meditation, and so I don't know if you've heard, but like the monadic self or your atmic self is, I've seen it in theosophy represented as a geometrical lotus flower form. And a couple years ago, I got a glimpse of my monadic self, which is your atmic, or it's at the atmic plane. It's your Brahmic, it's your atmic self. I don't know, your God self. It's like your individualized, unified self, your oversoul, your the big the big one. I don't know. Anyway, and I got a glimpse of it, and it absolutely does look some like a lotus, but there's a geometric form around it. Anyway, once again in meditation, I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, this lotus flower geometric form starts coming down, entering, and it lands in my body, the lotus here, and then the geometric form. I can feel this different geometric form. And prior to this integration, I could always sense my monadic self up here, or yeah, up there, that there was a me and there was a monadic self. And now I can't feel it there, it's here. And what I think, and I think this, see, Adyashanti and many teachers talk about, and I've talked about this myself, that there is, after these awakenings, you have the head, heart, gut. Prior to awakening, or during your spiritual journey, you're working on gut, heart, head, right? The psychological self. But then after awakening, the integration happens. And as, God, I don't even know if I'm saying the right words, but as you begin to integrate and embody, I suppose, embody beingness, your true self, your monadic self, it's a head, heart, gut awakening. And I guess for some people it doesn't go in that order, but what ends up happening is, like, before the highest was the head, and now on the way down, the lowest is the highest. I don't know, I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, and it is stirring up my deepest of corest wounds at the survival level once again, but at a much deeper level. Soul, it is touching, it is asking me to heal, recognize. I don't know quite what to do with it because I'm still dealing with it. That initial feeling of separation, that initial ignorance that happened when my spark of consciousness broke away from oneness and unity, and ended up in a polarity system. Does that make sense? So this is that thing that has been with you since you originally separated and became a soul. So it's very, very deep, and the air conditioner is kicking on. So I think I will end this video at this point, at this time. Yeah, so this is the gut activation, the gut center, the solar plexus. Yeah, and I don't know if I'll get through it, if I'll heal it, if I don't know where to go from here, but that'll be, yes, that's the journey. Okay. I have a lot more to say, but I'll end this for now because it's been long enough. Okay, bye-bye.